Okay. Hello, my name is Smergal, and this is back to reading Wizard of Oz. It's been a while, but I want to go ahead and read Chapter 5, The Rescue of the 10 Woodmen. So is he 10 or is he wood? Well, we'll find out. I also got this little statue from a traveler who may have gotten it after, yeah, you don't even know the details. He's paperweight. When Dorothy awoke, the sun was shining through the trees, and Toto had long been chasing birds around her, because Toto doesn't sleep apparently. There was the Scarecrow, still standing patiently in his corner, waiting for her, just like a creepy person. "We must go and search for water," she said to him. "Why do you want water?" he asked. "To wash my face clean after the dust of the road, and to drink, so the dry bread will not stick in my throat." I think drinking the water is a little bit more, serious than washing your face. "Oh, it must be inconvenient to be made of flesh," said the Scarecrow, all now knowing that he is actually much better in every way than a stupid human. "For you must sleep, eat, and drink. However, you have brains, and it is worth a lot of bother to be able to think properly." Okay, for the last time, you can think. You are basically like a super creature. Don't know what the word for it, but you don't feel pain, you don't sleep, you don't eat. Smergal would like that. They left the cottage and walked through the trees until they found a little spring of clear water, where Dorothy drank and bathed and ate her breakfast. She saw there not much bread left in the basket, and the girl was thankful the Scarecrow did not have to eat anything, for there's scarcely enough for herself and Toto for the day, because she's greedy. When she had finished her meal, it was about to go back to the road of yellow brick, so she was startled to hear a groan nearby. Where was it?" she asked timidly. "I cannot imagine," replied the Scarecrow, "but we can go and see, because we're stupid." Then again, he doesn't know anything about it. He's new, but I still think he has brains. He's smart. Smarter than expected. He's just kind of illiterate. Just then, another groan reached their ears, and the sound seemed to come from behind them. They turned and walked through the forest a few steps when Dorothy discovered something shiny in a ray of sunshine that fell between the trees. She ran to the place and stopped short with a cry of surprise. One of the big trees had been partially chopped through, and standing beside it was an uplifted axe in his hand, a man made of entirely of tin. This is when you just go run, because something with an axe is bad. Smergal had experience. Found wordsman. Tried to talk to him. He threw axe at me. Wasn't good. His head and arms were jointed upon his body, but he stood perfectly motionless, as he could not stir at all. Dorothy looked at him in amazement, and so did the Scarecrow, while Toto barked sharply and made a snap at the tin legs, which hurt his teeth. Stupid dog. Did you groan?" asked Dorothy. "Yes," answered the Tin Man, "I did. I've been groaning for more than a year, and no one has ever heard me before or come and help me." Oh God, that's like the worst kind of punishment. Seriously, standing there motionless for a year, that is, wow. Smergal would be bored if he did that. "What can I do for you?" she inquired softly, for she was moved by the sad voice in which the man spoke. "Get an oil can and oil my joints," he answered. "They are rusted so badly that I cannot move them at all. If I am well oiled, I shall soon be all right again." "You'll find an oil can on the shelf of my cottage." Dorothy once ran back to the cottage and found the oil can. And I'm assuming she probably swapped a few other things. Smergal would do that. Yeah, anything valuable. Mostly shiny things. especially precious. And she returned and asked anxiously, "Where are your joints?" Jeez. Smergal lives in caves, but Smergal knows where a joint is. Not the back kind, or the joint of legs, arms, neck. You know, body joints. "Oil my neck first," replied the Tin Woodman. So she oiled it, and it was quite badly rusted. The Scarecrow took hold of the tin head and moved it gently from side to side until it worked freely. Wow, yeah, that actually did work. How do you have no brains? You know how a neck works. Bad Scarecrow. Stop believing everything that people say. And then the man continued himself. "Now oil the joints in my arms," he said. And Dorothy oiled them, and the Scarecrow bent them carefully until they're quite free of rust and good as new. The Tin Woodman gave a sigh of satisfaction and lowered his axe, which he leaned against the tree. "This is a great comfort," he said. "I have been holding the axe in the air ever since I rested, and I'm glad to be able to put it down at last. Now, if you will oil the joints of my legs, I shall be all right once more and leave you all be." No, not really. I'm pretty sure this is another companion. For some reason, if you find people like this, they always end up being companion, either annoying or helpful. Scarecrow's helpful. I'm on the fence about this guy, but he might be a good warrior. So they oiled his legs until he can move them freely, and he thanked him once again and again and again and again for his release. For he seemed to be a very polite creature and very grateful. "I may have stood there always if you had not come along," he said, "and you certainly saved my life. How did you happen to be here?" "We're on our way to Emerald City to see the great OZ," she answered. I almost mispronounced that. It's OZ. "And we stopped at your cottage to pass the night." "Why did you wish to see OZ?" he asked. "I want him to send me back to Kansas." "And the Scarecrow wanted him to put a few brains into his head," she replied. "A few brains? He just needs one brain." The Tin Woodman appeared to think deeply for a moment. Then he said, "Do you suppose OZ could give me a heart?" "Well, I guess so," Dorothy answered. "It'd be easy to give the Scarecrow brains." "No, that's not easy at all. That's hard. Giving brains and heart is hard. Without brain, you're dead. Without heart, you're dead." Where would he get that? I'm just thinking he'll just kill a random person and just take the brain and the heart and give it to them. No, that's bad. No, don't ever think that. "Well, I guess so," Dorothy answered. "It would be as easy." Well, I already read that. "True," the Tin Woodman returned. "So if you will allow me to join your party..." Oh God, another one of these people. Always starting parties. "I will also go to the Emerald City and ask OZ to help me. Come along," said the Scarecrow heartily, and Dorothy added that she would be pleased to have his company. The Tin Woodman shouldered his axe because any good warrior would need an axe. It's like, it's basic. Warrior need an axe. The Scarecrow, well, I guess even though he doesn't have any brains, he seems to be the better brains of the situation, and Dorothy's like the main character. You know, I think the Scarecrow would make a good wizard. Now that I think about it. I mean, he doesn't really have much attacks, but he can't feel pain, so yeah. I definitely think the Scarecrow would be a good mage. Or something that could take a lot of damage, but that would be the Woodman. And, I don't know. Just something I was thinking about. They all passed through the forest until they came to a road that was paved with yellow brick. The Tin Woodman had asked Dorothy to put the oil can in his basket. "Foil," he said. Yes, that's one word. "If I should get caught in the rain and rest again, I would need the oil can badly, because water hates me." It was a bit of good luck to have the new comrade join the party, for as soon as they began their journey again, they came to a place where the trees and branches grew so thick over the road that the travelers could not pass. Because whoever was in charge of clearing this was not doing a job. You had one job to do, and you failed. But the Tin Woodman set to work with his axe and chopped so well that soon he cleared a passage for the entire party. Ah, how convenient. What would they have done if they did not find this guy? Dorothy was thinking so earnestly. As they walked along, she did not notice when the Scarecrow stumbled into a hole and rolled over to the side of the road. Indeed, he was obliged to call her to help him up again. "Why didn't you walk around the hole?" asked the Tin Woodman. "I don't know enough," replied the Scarecrow cheerfully. You could just said that you got distracted and it would have been less embarrassing. "My head is stuffed with straw, and that is why I'm going to the OZ to ask him for some brains." "Oh, I see," said the Tin Woodman. "But after all, brains are not the best thing in the world." "Have you any?" inquired the Scarecrow. "No, my head is quite empty," answered the Woodman. Intelligence level 0. "But once I had brains, and a heart also. So, tried having them both. I should much rather have a heart." "And why is that?" asked the Scarecrow. "I will tell you my story, and then you shall know." Oh God, background story. Those things are always the worst. I don't care about your background. So while they were walking through the forest, the Tin Woodman told the following story. "I was born the son of a woodman who chopped down trees in the forest and sold the wood for a living. When I grew up, I too became a wood chopper. And after my father died, I took care of my old mother as long as she lived. Then she died. Then I made up my mind that instead of living alone, I will marry, so I might not become lonely." Yeah, look what it got you. You're still lonely. "There's one of the Munchkin girls who is so beautiful, I soon grew to love her with all my heart." You don't have a heart. "She, on her part, promised to marry me as soon as I could earn enough money to build a better house for her. So I set to work harder than ever. But the girl lived with an old woman who did not want her to marry anyone, because the old woman's a jerk. For she was so lazy that she wished the girl to remain with her to do the cooking and the housework." She could probably still do it even when married if you're making all the money. But then again, she's lazy, so maybe she should grow up a bit. Okay, where was I? "So the old woman went to the Wicked Witch of the East and promised her 2 sheep and a cow if they would prevent the marriage. Thereupon the Wicked Witch enchanted my axe, and when I was chopping away at my best one day, I was anxious to get a new house with my wife as soon as possible. The axe slipped all at once and caught my left. Oh my God! Coffee, what were you doing? How is that possible? Did you just drop it? No, you probably just you sliced it off. That is horrible. This at first seen as a great misfortune. You lost a leg. That is bad. Even Smergal knows that losing a leg is bad. For I knew that a one-legged man could not do very well as a wood chopper. That would be the last thing on my mind. If Smergal lose leg, Smergal try to do something to fix it. That is bad. Is that the first thing on your mind? So I went to a tinsmith who had to make me a new leg out of tin. The leg worked very well once I was used to it, but my action angered the Wicked Witch of the East, for she had promised the old woman I shall not marry the pretty Munchkin girl. When I began chopping again, my axe slipped and caught my leg. Really? The right one now? Again, I went to the tinner, and again he made me a leg out of tin. And the tinner is suddenly suspicious that maybe you should try a new career if you're just going to be chopping off your own limbs somehow. I mean, how would you slip the axe and chop off your own leg? That is hard to do. After this, turn page. The tin axe coughed my arms, one after the other. Okay, that's actually pretty impressive. If you can chop off your own arms with the axe, I know it's enchanted, but if you can chop off both arms with an axe, that's actually quite impressive, and you should definitely find a new career. And after all, one after the other, but nothing daunted, I had it replaced with tin horns. The Wicked Witch then made the axe slip and cut off my head. This is for kids, right? Is this really for kids? I think I read books less violent than this. At first, I thought that was the end of me, but the tinner happened to come along and he made me into head out of tin. So you're just standing there headless for who knows how long? Or he did... Does nothing make sense! Smergal brain hurt! I think he's lying. I think it was always made out of tin and just... He spent a year just thinking of an interesting story. That's it. No. Smergal will believe in a lot of things. Smergal believes in talking trees. Smergal believes that wizards exist, and hobbits are evil, and orcs are evil. But no, I cannot believe that someone lost their head and he survived that long. No, that's the end of this. No, bad book, bad. I gotta get through it. I thought I had beaten the Wicked Witch then, and I worked harder than ever, but Lord, I know how cruel my enemy could be. She made a new way to kill my love for the beautiful Munchkin maiden, and made my axe slip again. So it cut right through my body, splitting me into two. Oh my God! How? This is extremely violent. This is like I've never even seen an orc cleave someone in two as clean as that. At least takes them like two or three swings to cut someone in half. And that is someone who is not very big. Once more, the tinner came to my help and made me a body out of tin. At this point, I'm now thinking that the tinner is just basically standing around for that to happen and collecting all the money, because I'm pretty sure the tinner is just getting a lot of money from this. Also, I've never heard of a tinner. Weird. Once more, the tinner came to my help and made a body out of tin, fastening my tin arms and legs and a head to fit, by means of joints so I could move around as well as ever. But alas, I have no heart, so I lost all my love for the Munchkin girl. Or maybe because she doesn't want to be with someone who just lost his entire body trying to do a career that maybe he should change careers. You ever tried being a fisherman? I'm pretty sure it's a little bit safer than what you're doing. And did not care whether I married her or not. I suppose she is still living with her old woman waiting for me to come after her. My body shone so brightly in the sun, I felt very proud of it, and did not mind now if my axe slipped, for it could not cut me. There was only one danger, that my joints would rust, but I keep an oil can in my cottage and took care to oil myself whenever I needed it. However, there came a day when I forgot to do this, and being caught in a rainstorm before I thought the danger of my joints had rested. And I was left to stand the words until you came to help me. The one time you forgot it rained. You ever look at the clouds? If it's cloudy, bring an oil can. If it's choppy, see clouds, run back, get oil can. It's that simple. You brought this on yourself. You somehow managed to cut off all your limbs, your head, and slice yourself in two with an axe. I don't care if it's enchanted. I blame you on this. Maybe you should choose different careers. This doesn't make sense. It's a terrible thing to undergo, but during the year I stood there, I had time to think of the greatest loss I'd known. Was the loss of my heart, not of the arms, legs, body, head, or your love, your heart. When I was in love, I was the happiest man on earth, but no one could love who had not had an heart. So I resolved to ask OZ to give me one. If he does, I'll go back to the Munchkin Maiden and marry her. That's if she's still alive. I don't know how long have you had that tin body. both Dorothy and the Scarecrow have been greatly interested in the story of the Tin Woodman, mainly because it was so far-fetched it was actually pretty interesting. And now, they all knew why he was so anxious to get in your heart. Maybe he should just get a new body. Just get a new one. You're just being a tin. It's weird. All the same, said the Scarecrow, I shall ask for brains instead of a heart, for a fool would not know what to do with a heart if he had one. I'm still wondering what the Tin Woodman needed for a heart. I shall take the heart, returned the Tin Woodman, for brains do not make one happy, and happiness is the best thing in the world. Feels like they're just trying to, they're like giving up body parts right now. Dorothy did not say anything, for she was puzzled or very creeped out by the two guys who were looking for body parts. To know what to do with the two friends was right, and she decided she could only get back to Kansas, and it did not matter so much whether the Woodman had no brains and the Scarecrow had no heart, or each got what he wanted. What worried her was that the bread was nearly gone because she didn't care about her friends. Another meal for herself and Toto would empty the basket. To be sure, neither the Woodman nor the Scarecrow ate anything, but she was not made of tin nor straw, and could not live unless she was fed. Unless you live for a month, I'm pretty sure you can probably live for a few days without food. And that's the end of Chapter 5. The next one is Chapter 6, The Cowardly Lion. Well, that was an interesting chapter. This guy's kind of stupid. Chopping off everything with his axe. He's not too bad. He needs self-confidence, and I'm guessing this guy, the lion, is next, which is cool. Lions are always cool. Okay, so for next time, my name is Smergal, and next we'll be reading The Wizard of Oz, Chapter 6. And if you like this, feel free to comment, subscribe, or leave a like. Smergal likes that.